Trusted, innovative financial services, providing knowledge and support and solutions. Customer-oriented, superior services. Your success, our passion. Trusted, innovative financial services, providing knowledge and support and solutions. Customer-oriented, superior services. Your success, our passion. 10 good years of loyalty, service with integrity, protective of our Ghanaian brand. 10 years of excellence, 10 years of loyalty. Your success, our passion. Oh yeah, your success, our passion.
Your success, our passion.
Hello, I say, how did now? Vodafone normal 10 megabyte free data. It will call Smart Rubiadron. Share.
Hello, have you heard that Vodafone is giving 10 megabyte free data for every minute you talk? You just dial 50-50.
Yeah, hello. Aha! Right now, we the Vodafone people just they call plenty. Second of us, you talk 1 minute, you go get 10 megabytes. You talk 2 minutes, you go get 20 megabytes. 3 minutes.
Call Vodafone or any network and get 10 megabytes of free data every minute you talk. It's simple. Talk to browse. The more you talk, the more data you get. Dial 50-50 to subscribe. Talk more, browse more. Terms and conditions apply.
The future is exciting. Ready?
Nationwide Medical Insurance, the leader in private health insurance, has deployed superior technology to make your healthcare experience more convenient and exciting. With the Nationwide mobile app, you can order your prescription drugs and we will deliver to your doorsteps. With over 600 dependable healthcare service providers, you're just a step away locating your service provider of choice and accessing hospital claim information in real time. Our corporate clients are guaranteed timely corporate utilization reports. We provide on-site clinics to give employees access to healthcare in the comfort of their offices. Enjoy these amazing benefits and so much more by signing on to Nationwide Medical Insurance today. Call us on toll-free number 0800-222222 or visit our website www.nationwidemh.com. Nationwide Medical Insurance. Join the healthcare family.
It's time to experience something different, unexpected, and definitely beyond banking. It's a new era at GCB Bank, Ghana's most welcoming bank, where we offer you a world of financial security, flexibility, and convenience. We swiftly serve you with over 180 branches and 300 ATMs, and provide e-banking solutions that make it possible for you to bank anywhere, anytime. When you need a personal loan, sooner is better than later, so we give it to you in 24 hours to make sure the experience is always memorable. At GCB, your opportunities are limitless and we keep you smiling at all times. We're bigger and better, ready to take you beyond banking. GCB Bank, your bank for life.
It's the year of the car owner with Enterprise Insurance. Just dial *714*556#. Choose update your details, follow the prompts, and voila! You are in for surprises that will make your head swell big. Surprises like mobile data, useful car insurance tips, and many more. Remember, updating your details even helps to speed up the claims process. Car owner, this is your year. Insure with Enterprise. Dial *714*556# and update your details now.
Enterprise, your advantage.
Hello and welcome
Welcome to the MTN Weather Report. Minimum still, I'm not for and dry. But this year, whatever your needs are, we're there for you. Now, the details of my weather report. 15,000 cities could blow from the intertropical boundaries across the country. We can also see a mist of fog patches of 25,000 cities and a heavy monetary downpour of 30,000 cities are a move to treat the dry season across the country. Now, ladies and gentlemen, everywhere you go, whether it be school fees or akasisem fees, we're there for you. Rent advance, salary advance, your sortie advance, because with MTN, we're there for you. Now keep talking, browsing, texting, and sending Momo to accumulate points and win prizes each month to cushion you this year in the MTN More For You promo. 80 dial *120 hash. Now check your points. We're there for you everywhere you go.
Everybody make us see you do the dance. Do the dance.
We give you nothing but the best. We stay above the rest. More quality, more affordability. Kingdom Books and Stationery. Everybody's going to the one and only shop where customer satisfaction is a guarantee. Kingdom Books and Stationery.
Oh yes, with our 30 days credit facility with no interest charge, free delivery services, and our free consultation on setting up your office, Kingdom Books and Stationery is unmatched in our delivery of quality and affordable office essentials, equipment, and furniture.
Experience world-class customer service in all our branches in Accra, Tema, Kumasi, Cape Coast, and Takoradi.
Call us on 0302-764-101
or visit our website at www.kingdomgh.com.
Kingdom Books and Stationery, your number one-stop shop for all office essentials and stationery. Terms and conditions apply.
Let us help you bank with the right bank. At First National Bank, we're more than just a bank. We're a digital partner that actually understands your business. Enjoy massive value with our various banking solutions. Get a business check account, a day-to-day transactional account for all businesses from all sectors of the economy. Access our online banking enterprise and bank your way 24/7. Invest with our short or long-term options that enable immediate access to funds. Optimize your cash flow, raise capital, and acquire assets with ease with our lending solutions. Trade with speed, consistency, and innovation with our global payments and forex solutions. With so much value up for grabs, there is no reason not to bank with First National Bank. First National Bank. How can we help you?
The management of the National Service Scheme wishes to announce to the general public that eligible Ghanaians who missed the opportunity to do their national service in previous years and now wish to do so have the opportunity to enroll from Monday 21st January 2019 to Friday 29th March 2019. Applicants are to present the following documents: a letter requesting for PIN code, a certified true copy of school certificate or transcript, evidence of deferment, an attestation or introductory letter from the institution attended, a copy of any of the following: voter's ID, driver's license, passport and national ID card, and a copy of school ID. International students are reminded to come along with their passports. All requirements are to be presented in photocopies. Applications should be delivered to NSS regional offices or the headquarters, National Service Scheme number 46 Patrice Lumumba Road, Airport Residential Area, Accra. For further inquiries, please contact NSS on 0302 772714 or visit www.nss.gov.gh. NSS, service to the nation.
Driving the car, they should take him away.
No. Take him to our car.
No, they should take him away. He's bleeding out too. He's bleeding out.
I'm dying, man.
Boss.
I'm dying, man. I'm telling you, no.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is Ghana in 2019. All because of partisan politics. A man screams afraid to die after another man is also heard ordering people to shoot. Well, this has set off a chain of events, protests, press conferences, national and international condemnation, the setting up of a presidential commission, a host of other actions. But you see, as ordinary Ghanaians worry to death about the future, afraid of this country plunging into violent conflict and bloodshed, the politicians appear to still be in their own world, still arguing, some equalizing, justifying the barbarity we saw last week, and yet others vowing to do even worse if they ever get power. In the midst of this partisan political back and forth, the cedi has depreciated to a record low. More than 5 cedis to the dollar. Thousands, even millions are still out of work. Institutions are failing. Roads are still in a state of horror. Mothers are still dying in a failing health system. Our problems are countless, but our politicians find all the time to fight. So tonight, we have the next generation of political leaders connecting to explore how they can change the narrative and pull us back from the brink. And so I introduce you to George Upariado. He's the NDC youth organizer. He joins me in the studio. Hello, Mr. Parado.
How are you? How are you doing?
I'm great. I'm great that you join us. Kamal Dean Abdullah is a youth activist, but also a deputy communications director of the governing MPP, and he joins us in the studio. Hello, Kamal.
Hi, Evans.
Also with me is Nabila Nashiru. He's also a youth organizer of the CPP. Hello, Nashiru.
Yeah,
on the phone with me is a blogger, the man in the middle, he call himself, but a man who really can speak the language of the majority of us ordinary people who are not politicians. Nana Kofi Akwa is also, by the way, an international photojournalist. Hello, Nana.
Hello, Evans. Thank you so much for having me on your program.
You cannot have a conversation like this aiming to see if the parties can reconcile and eat, in the same bowl without bringing somebody from the clergy. Reverend Paul Frimpong Manso is the General Superintendent of the Assemblies of God Church and also connects on the phone. Hello, Reverend.
Good evening, Evans.
Thank you very much.
We'll connect.
It's great to speak to you. We'll connect to Canada shortly, where politics of a different breed is done. I mean, they have, of course, disagree, but it's very respectful and is all designed to advance the state, the Canadian state. And so we'll tap into what they've done, how differently they've done it, and why can't we do same locally? That's a conversation we're having tonight. So I want you to join us wherever you are tonight. Share your thoughts with us, and this is how.
Join us now on Twitter, #Ghana Connect Live, Facebook, Joy 99.7 FM, or send us a WhatsApp on 0244 340 437, and we will call you back. Join the nation's biggest conversation now and connect to authority.
Kofi, I'll start with you because I say you represent the majority of Ghanaians who are not politicians or have no political ambition. In the studio with me are great minds, young generation, next generation of political leaders. They are rising to the very top already. But as somebody who is a simple worker, works both here and internationally, and having watched everything unfold, what do you say to them?
I think that I would want to entreat them to think about the value of peace. You know, peace is one of those things you don't value until you lose it. You know, I have had I'll call it the unfortunate privilege of working in Liberia shortly after the war, and in Sierra Leone, in places like Kwendu and Kenema. And you know, if you look at what war does to a people, you can't even imagine the extent. Basically, if a country goes to war, your development goes back minimum 10 years. 1 year of war is 10 years, not 10 years of stagnation, it's 10 years of going backwards. You know, I believe that the young people in the NPP and the MDC have great dreams for their lives and for their future and for their children. But if ever war should break out in Ghana, and God forbid that it should, but if ever war should break out, it becomes impossible to even dream of tomorrow. You know, you can't have a savings account. In Liberia, after the war, people, I mean, the land registry was burnt down. So basically, anybody who had a gun and was strong could claim any property as theirs. How do you prove that the property is yours? You know, the damage war does to a people. I'm very familiar with the situation in Mali. Last year, I went to the north of Mali, where the government of Mali is totally absent, and you have 8 jihadist groups taking territory, raping women, stopping buses, raping people, looting. On the very day I left Mali and got back to Accra, the team I was with was attacked at gunpoint. You know, and as a Ghanaian, as somebody who can live in this country and dream of the future and watch my children go to school and come back home and watch my neighbors develop and not have to think about security to that extent. I watch our young men pick up guns. I watch politicians form vigilante groups and arm them. And I'm thinking, you know, is it that they don't know what war can do? Are the young people aware that guns have no political parties, that a gun has no political affiliation? If somebody points a gun at you, the gun doesn't know whether you are innocent or guilty, whether you're a good person or a bad person. And the danger that comes with that is unbelievable. And if you think about the fact that Ghana is a country that is totally surrounded by countries that have different levels of conflict. Cote d'Ivoire have their issues, Burkina Faso have their issues, Togo have their issues. So there is a lot of infiltration of small arms into this country. So when the NPP think they are in power, so they are equipping their young people, they should know. You know, they shouldn't even think of it that it is impossible for young NDC people to access weapons. Getting weapons in Ghana is one of the easiest things. You know, all you have to do is walk across the border and you find shotguns, you find pump-action guns, you find AK-47s in Togo, in Burkina Faso. You know, they filter in all the...
Yeah, and I'll tell a story this week. I was just driving home and I was stopped at the police checkpoint. And, I mean, the man just asked me, do you have a gun? There's a police officer. And I said, no. He said, do you want one? I said, yes. And then he says, oh, yeah. And he gives me his number. He says, come to this place at this time. And which one do you want? Do you want AK-47 or you want a pistol? I'm like, I want a pistol. Are you sure? So, yeah, I can get AK-47. I said, oh, no, AK-47 is too heavy. And he showed me the place. And I took his number. And, of course, I was not interested in getting a gun. But that is how easy it was. And he told me the price. In fact, he told me, He told me the price.
I think a pump-action gun in Ghana now, if you're getting it legally, is about 7,000 Ghana cedis, between 5,000 to 7,000. And a pistol is about 10,000, 12,000, depending on what brand and where you are getting it from. But it is not difficult. You know, it is not difficult. And if you go to the illegal market, this is getting it legally, you know, getting a gun official. If you pass through the back door and you go into certain parts of Kumasi and Accra and Tema, you get it for far less. Only that it may be difficult to license it, you know. So there are a lot of young people driving around with guns on them.
And you know what makes it worse? When they get the guns and then you weaponize them and the gun with politics and then partisan politics, and then that then sets the fuse and it explodes. So let me bring in Reverend. Reverend, I'm sure you've been watching this from afar. I know, clergy, you've issued statements on this over the years, but it's not getting any better. So the question I'm asking tonight is partisanship pulling us down or building us up?
Thank you very much, Evans. I'm very, very interested in your conversation, especially being the chairman of the Small Arms and Light Weapons Commission. I hope you and the previous speaker will help me to know where these guns are and we deal with it. Coming to the big question, it's sad, and I have been down since this things happened last week. But Ghanaians are not learning. Let me go back. There is a principle that we need to unearth. When the party A is in power, he can do it, and the other party will cry. When the party B comes, he does the same. He says that you did it. We were here. We knew Atiwa, Tripoli, and blah, 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 and NPP has come. And the same thing is happening. So the two parties don't understand politics. We have been overpolarized so many years, but we still don't know that we come to power to come and help the lives of people to make it better. So fundamentally, it looks like people come to power to work, for their personal enhancement. So whatever they will do to come, it is not because they are thinking about the nation. And for the young people, I pity them. Somebody said, "All die be die." Should that have happened, will his wife and children be the people on the front line to die? Somebody said, "Boot for boot." Will his wife and children be the people on the front line to do the boot for boot? It is sad that we still have vigilantism in 21st century Ghanaian politics, when we have the police and all the various institutions, simply because we do not trust them, because the fundamentals in our constitution that has established these forces has made them pawns in the hands of the executives. People will do it when their party is in power and nobody will be tried, nobody will be punished. Another party will come, people will be appointed on party lines, and they can blind their eyes to see things like what we saw, simple by-elections. It was a shame for me to see. I'm not condemning only the present-day government. I'm condemning the past, but I'm also condemning Ghanaians, even to allow ourselves to be ashamed internationally. I saw this kind of accoutrement and weapons and anarchy, and I said, we are, saying that we are the best in politics, a oasis of Africa. So, for the sake of the future, the young people who are there, they should not allow themselves to be used. I'm speaking to all the young people, young Ghanaian population, the media and everything. Fundamentally, something is wrong. And the wrong thing is that our politics, the political foundation of Ghana is wrong. And unless we correct the wrongs and correct the wrongs in the Constitution that is guiding us for the next 50, 60 years, it will be merry-go-round. NDC comes and he has all the powers. They can do what they want and they will go scot-free. The courts will be impotent. And this MPP, as we see now, see how the Delta Force people were set free. I still don't understand it. I don't believe it. And this can empower another MPP people to do that. So, Evans, I don't know what to say. Unless we get things right, fundamentally right, we change the appointment system, if they will become pawns in the hands of the executives, and then we are going nowhere.
And Reverend and Kofi, I'll come back to you later on and see if we can help with exploration of what to do. And all of you are listening, join us as well in this. Let me bring in my political friends who are in the studio with me. Let me start with you, Giorgio Pariado. I want to understand why is it that the yourselves and the MPP, mainly, you're smiling, you know where I'm going with this. You don't seem to agree on anything. I mean, that's being fine. If you don't agree, that's fine. I mean, because that's the essence of democracy. But then the violence. I mean, you're thankfully you are the youth organizer. I mean, so explain to me what is it that gets you guys to get so violent because of violence?
Good evening.
Do you understand?
I don't understand.
You don't understand the question. But all the violence that we've seen in the past.
I just became youth organizer about 3 months ago.
Oh, but
under my watch, there's been no violence.
No, I'm not saying you're. You know what I mean. I'm talking about
sadly,
this
I don't
conversation.
Know what you mean,
This conversation. And if you see the way everybody didn't want to start with you guys. I wanted to start with the.
Oh no, I understand perfectly.
It's not a conversation about a specific party or a specific event. Yeah. It's about our politics. Partisan politics generally, right? So it's not about you, Pariamon. It's not about Kamal. It's not about the CPP. Do you get what I'm saying?
I understand, but
are we capable of rising above to look at the national interest instead of
on so many occasions? The Ghanaian people, the political parties together, have risen above violence.
You said but. What's the but?
No, I'll get it. So on so many occasions, we've had elections in this country where nobody was harmed. We've had national elections. We've had constituencies, we've had district assembly elections. With by-elections, the peculiar nature of it, one small constituency and everybody coming in. I'm yet to attend any by-election that some pockets of violence have not taken place. I can understand why Ghanaians are scared with what happened in Ayawaso West Wugon. Yeah. But we've gone round, and you see, we the politicians cause a sensationalization. We come and say stories, hey, and this thing's happened. We were in Etiwa.
Oh, so you know.
I'm coming. No, we were in Etiwa. I was in Etiwa.
Yeah.
The former, now President Akufo-Addo said that Bibi Kakresi were Etiwa. Yeah. There were pockets of violence. And you see, when you have so many people in one place, fighting for space, fighting for turf, certainly you have some frictions happening. Mm. And that is exactly what has happened over the years. What happened in Ayawaso West Wugon? For me, for the first time, I was scared because when I got to one police station, I saw national security operatives. Mm. That police station was very peaceful. I went there to ask him what business national security had in these elections. Yeah. All the young man could tell me is that he's been deployed. When I got to Lagos, I met people I know. Yeah. People I know who have no business in national security, wearing national security shirts. I raised an alarm to my party and said, I've seen people wearing national security shirts. My deputy also called me and said, he's met people he knows on Legon campus holding national security cards, and they are all sharing the same ID card. So he was worried. Way before the violence started in, what do you call it? In Baleshi. So I can understand what is happening now. Also, what happened in Ayawaso, because this is Accra, because we've gone round. We're in Etiwa, we're in Tripoli, we're in Talensi, but it didn't get this attention. Yeah. It is only getting this attention because of what happened and the people who were involved and the way the shootings happened. Your reporters were running helter-skelter because you don't even know where the shootings was coming from. But I can understand you. Ghana does not need this.
Thank you very much.
Ghana does not need this. And you see, somebody said something that Ghans know no political party. No. My fear today is that all these young men holding guns today, the young men who were armed, they are bouncers we know. I own a club. I know some of the bouncers who were there.
Where's your club?
I own Soho.
Okay.
So a few things happen.
Tonight, Kamal Adin is coming to Soho. You guys will hold hands in Soho and dance to a nice music. So I know you're not fighting.
So a few things happen.
Yeah.
A few things happen. But when you see people holding guns, people who are not properly trained, people we know in the streets, Kamal Adin knows who I am. I'm in the streets. Oh, we are friends, old friends. Right. You know, we've gone to school together. So I am always out there in the streets. He knows it. So I know the people who came out there. Now my question is, the guns that were given to them, have we taken it away from them?
Of course not.
If no, then we are in trouble.
Oh, we haven't been told yet, so.
No, but
I can assume that we have.
Yeah, but because they will use them in quotes. I'm not saying it is going to happen. Maybe they will end up using them for another operation. So if they still have these guns, then you and I are not safe.
True. That's what
because these guys are unemployed. They were just brought together for a specific operation. The job is done. If they still have the guns, because most of them are land guards. Yeah. Most of them are career criminals we know. Yeah. And they have all these guns with them. Of course, yes. Come on, let's not get... You see, I've tried restraining myself and not talking about this whole issue.
Which is really why I called you here. That's the purpose of this conversation.
So, because
to see if we can speak peace.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? And above partisan politics.
Certainly. You see, for me, it is my prayer that my brothers in the NPP and those of us in the ADC will come to realize that this is not the way to go as a country.
Okay.
Democracy, elections can take place without anybody going to man any polling station, without us sending any boys or any...
And then leaving the police.
And leaving the police to do their job. You see, now the difficulty is that incidents have happened and then the police have not been up and doing. And I can recount a few.
In fact, they've been sidelined.
No.
By the political hawks.
No. A senior police officer was assaulted at the Flagstaff House. Nothing has happened. A national security operative was assaulted in Kumasi. Nothing happened. The judge was chased out. Nothing happened. A minister was chased out of a meeting. Nothing has happened. It emboldens them. It makes people believe that when they do things, nothing can happen to them. That is how come today the NDC is also talking about we recruiting this. I don't believe that is the way to go. Because you see, what happened in Ayawaso West Wugon, it could happen to anybody. The guns, the bullets, anybody could have been hit.
Yeah. So maybe let me ask you. So when you hear your leaders, right? Because you are the youth organizer, I'm sure there are people also above in terms of the hierarchy of leadership, speak like what we've heard already, like, oh yeah, no matter how long it takes, we'll get you. Our revolutionary roots will match you boot for boot. We can also sit down and whatever. When you hear that as a youth organizer, seeing the way you've spoken now, seeking the national interest, how does it make you feel?
You see, Evans, some statements are made on the spur of the moment to calm nerves. That statement President Mahama made in the Volta region, if not for that statement, I can assure you the NDC that day would have been out there in the streets. You see, sometimes, you know what the man said, is this a journal or something? Basically.
Yeah.
You see, when you are out there in the field and your people are there and they are charged, you must say things that will bring them to peace. 80 to 90% of the time, they are not statements we mean to carry them through. But at that material moment, if President Mahama had not spoken, I can assure you there will be more bloodshed in Ayawaso than we did witness. His statement came timely, and that was what the NDC needed. Because it was just giving us hope at that material moment. But because even if you are there and you saw what happened,
let me just speak as a citizen, right? You're saying to me as a citizen that the only way to calm your people
I didn't say the only way
to speak violence.
I didn't say the only way.
You said if he didn't calm, then there might be more bloodshed.
No, don't misquote me. I said his statement was timely.
Oh, yeah.
Because at that time, the youth of the NDC were also charged.
I get you.
Getting ready to go into
So you're saying that.
So I'm coming. When President Mahama
he couldn't have done anything else than to
and I'm
speak
telling
violence?
you, is it Evans, if you are seated in here and I come and slap you, your reaction will be different than when I've not slapped you. There are two things. When something happens, if you sit down in your chair now, seated in your chair, I come and attack you.
Yeah.
Your response, that material moment.
I'm asking you,
will be a bit different.
In the spirit of this conversation, where you've agreed that the most important thing is to seek national development, national unity.
That is why we are
within
into
that
politics.
broad context, right?
Yeah.
A statesman, what would a statesman do in that context when you believe your people have been brutally assaulted? What would a statesman do? For example, what would Kofi Annan, blessed memory,
Kofi Annan is not a politician.
I'm coming. But that's I mentioned statesman. I mentioned statesman.
Yeah, you can't compare the two.
President what would a statesman do?
He's a politician before a statesman.
I get you.
So
isn't that a problem?
Evans, let's not confuse the two. Yeah. At that moment, that statement was necessary, and I'm telling you that statement was timely.
So you're saying that if he was a statesman, like Kofi Annan, would have been different.
When you speak on platforms,
yeah,
when you speak on political party platforms, you wear different caps. When he meets his party people as a presidential candidate, he's a politician addressing his delegates. Okay. There is a message that should go to them that should help calm their
it's a partisanship that is a problem.
You can say that, but
which is the question we are asking tonight. And listeners, please help me with your view on this. Come on, let me come to you as well. Come on. Well, and you see how we start the conversation.
Yeah, sure.
We've reached a critical point in our national democratic life that this can't go on anymore. So he's spoken. I see the politics is there, but what do you say to your people that follow you, that look up to you? Because one day you might become the leader of the NPP and national chairman. Are you going to continue the cycle? That they did it to me, Mr.
Evans, certainly, God willing, when one day I emerge as a leader of the most revered party in Africa, which is the New Patriotic Party, I will not, and I repeat myself, seek to incite the youth.
Okay.
I will not use statements or make statements that will tell them that, look, violence is their portion or is part of them.
Even when you're
Therefore,
provoked.
get prepared. No.
Even when you're provoked.
The leader must be top-notch in terms of...
Not today's date.
I'm saying that...
What you're saying.
Evans,
one day when you get there,
Evans,
and you are provoked, like what happened to Ayawaso, and you are in a leadership position.
Evans, one major attribute of a leader is to have class in emotional intelligence.
Wow.
And of course, with a great respect, I was very quiet. I was very quiet.
Don't worry,
I am taking it from where he ended, saying that, but for the intervention of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, former president, but for the comments he made, reprisal attacks could have happened. Yeah. Very unfortunate. In fact, he didn't just make such statements. He went ahead to let the entire country know that even advice coming from, if you like, statesmen, and you ask him about statesmanship, okay, such pieces of advice was seen as hypocritical stance, even by His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. But let's put that aside. Evans, we have come a long way as a country. From the 1961, had the first Republican Constitution, about 6 parties or so were there. 79, we had about 6 parties. We came down all the way to 69 to 79. Then we came down all the way to 1992, where we had a 4th Republican Constitution. Today, as we speak, 24 registered political parties are in this country. on the website of Electoral Commission. 24 political parties. But it has always been between MPP and DC.
Yeah. You are a problem.
Larger parties.
MPP is the problem.
The
No,
problem,
both of you are.
the reason why we're here today is how we can nip in the bud the violence that is actually rearing its heads into our body politics. And I think that's a sad situation that we all must condemn and we must all speak against. We have always appeared civil. And in fact, by elections which he centered on, we have always appeared civil.
You believe that?
I believe that. I'm saying it. I'm saying it.
You're saying it.
You see,
You believe it.
you see, he spoke about reprisal attacks and spoke about an intervention that, of course, went a long way to avert it, as it were, which they would have actually taken up. My point here is that we have always been civil because we have always been those to defend. Yes. Why? Let me take you. We have always been those to defend. The attacks always emanate from them, and I'm not actually blaming or I'm trying to point accusing fingers. I am stating facts. Evans, let's first of all take by elections, which he dwelled on. I am making a point. Let me make this point. It's very important to make this point so that at least there will be clarity. The point I'm making here is that we've always been civil as a party, and we've always looked to the forward march. Why? When by elections were initiated in this country, the first, if maybe I'm wrong, I stand to be corrected. The first violence that we recorded during the by-election had to do with Chirponi.
Oh no, offensive.
Offensive as well. We had Chirponi. Wait a minute. We had Chirponi, Ravens. We had Chirponi. We had Talensi. We had offensive. We had other areas that has happened, and it has always been triggered by them.
Let me say something. See if you. Let me say something. See if you so continue. The point I'm making is, in the spirit of this conversation, all that you've said is not new. In fact, in the last week, we've had a lot of your leaders. And that's why I started by saying that if you become the national chairman, will you continue? Your language right now sounds like what I've just heard from all your leaders before you.
That
they did it in Tripoli to us. We have been the people who have been abused. And
Evans,
look, you just told me that you wait. I'm saying when I finish, if you still want.
Very well, go ahead.
But I'm saying to you, all the things you said are the same things that the people who are leading you, who have led us to Ayawaso, the people who led him, his party, who led us to Tripoli and Talensi, have been saying, you, the two of you, young men and women, right? Young men, future leaders of your party, you're still saying, you're using the same language, same equalization, pointing to the same example that your leaders have done. So what is, you just started by saying, when I become the chairman, you'll be different.
Evans,
and yet, when you start speaking, same.
Evans, no, not same. If you do not know, Evans, if you allow me, you will get where I'm coming from. If you do not know, if you do not know, no. If you do not, no, please.
Okay.
If you do not know where you come from, you would never and certainly not know where you'll be going. My point here is that my point where we are right now is how we can focus. How we can no. How we can focus as a people. How we can, all of us. He's mentioned it. He's my very good friend. We've been friends. I'm a friend to a couple of NDC people, and they also have friends in our party. See, but the point here, no. Evans. The point I'm making here is that beyond our friendship, okay, is the politics that we all seek to do. Is the organization of our parties that we all seek to do. And clearly, in organizing a party, in making sure that your party, of course, as mandated by the law, wins a public election, you would have to lay out or roll out a lot of strategies. Okay? Security, you all agree with me, that will not certainly be put away when you are putting yourself together. All political parties will have their internal arrangement in terms of security. That is clear. Of course, excesses may happen in the course of making sure that the right thing is done, which we all want to stop and we all want to avert, or as it were, not see in the near future. My point here is what happened in Ayawaso West Wagon. He talks about he's seeing known guys he know very well, who has nothing to do with national security. In national, wait a minute. Who has nothing to do with national security, coming or appearing in a national security costume. You see, it's pathetic how my brother thinks this way. In even greater and bigger jurisdictions, You never know. Evans even here.
I'll come to you shortly.
Evans even here, sitting and interviewing us, is an operative of national security or not. You never know. That's how it works. So merely knowing Evans, okay, would not tell you whether he's an operative or not an operative. So that matter is flawed. He still talks about career criminals. And I think that's a very irresponsible. With a great respect, when I land, no, I'm not going there. The gentleman made certain comments here that he knows some people who are career criminals who were in national security uniform or costume. And I'm saying that, look, with recourse to Act 720, the laws of Ghana, the Whistleblowers Act, as a good citizen, if you do know that this is a criminal, this is somebody who is dangerous to us, my good brother, you are a friend to the police. You are supposed to make sure you blow the pistol. You haven't done that. You sit here today and say they are known criminals and you are quiet. Who loves this country?
So let me say this.
That's sad.
So you see, he's made this allegation. He believes in what he said. Then you also respond to him. If I give him the chance, he will respond. You respond.
He's made allegations we doesn't even understand because how it works. National security will not come and tell these are the people who works with me. You never know them.
So you see, I brought you here hopefully so that and I said as I started at the top.
Sure.
It's a reconciliation edition, right? On the back of what? Because you guys are future leaders of your parties, and here you are, both of you, really, accusation. But this is the problem. This what you just exhibited is the problem. Why we are where we are. Because none of you two parties can, even if you are slapped, right? You all believe in the Bible. You believe in the Quran. And the Bible teaches you, that when you're slapped, what did Jesus say?
There are two parts of the Bible.
Oh, really?
You see?
The
Bible.
But that is our problem, right? That is our problem. You have old men and women in political parties who will not fight in your homes. But on radio, look at what you're just doing. On a show where I've started by reminding us of where we are.
Evans, on my way here.
Evans,
on my way here, I was listening to you.
To do this.
You read, and in fact, you had cause to even interview the General Secretary of the NDC.
Yeah, I mean, no.
I'm making a point based on what you're saying.
Which is?
The point is that I said on my way here I was listening to you. You even had cause to interview or listen to the General Secretary of the NDC, who says like we have issued a statement to, as it were, state our position on whether or not the setting up of a commission of inquiry to look into this matter was proper. Okay, they say they don't even believe in it. Now we are here talking about we making sure that we all come on same page. See how we can forward march. See how we can move together. The President of the Republic of Ghana, in his wisdom, says, look, if there are complaints, if there are problems, let us find a way, get a commission to investigate. Then we can unravel whatever is there, get the truth, and if there's supposed to be punishment, we mete out the punishment to the people. Now a political party takes a recalcitrant position and says we do not even believe in it. Which one do you believe in? Which one? Where do you want us to go?
It's okay.
This is sad.
So I'll come back. You see, so I'll come back to those and see whether, hopefully, your language will change. Whether you stop accusing each other, because that's where we need to get to do mature politics in Ghana. Mature politics. We are not doing mature politics. We are not. But the greatest respect to all the senior people in all the NDC and MPP, from the president down, we are not doing mature politics.
The chairman of all that.
Please, we are not. NDC, MPP. Let me see what the CPP's position is. CPP. You are the founding party, right? You claim to be founding party. I wonder where you stand on this. You're also the youth leader in your respective party. National youth organizer of your party. When you hear the two of them fighting,
good evening.
Are you willing to be different, and how different are you going to be?
Well, I think our chairman and leader, Professor Edmond Dele, issued a strong statement condemning the acts or the violence that met us at West Wogon, the by-election. That's my constituency. That's where I'm coming from. But that's not why I vote. I vote in Kumbungo constituency because I'm from the northern region. If I will issue a statement condemning the violence, being the first political party of this country, it's very sad seeing these two political parties causing mayhems in every election, not even a by-election.
I see people going to be different.
We give birth to Ghana, and as a mother, you know how to take care of your child.
Yeah.
You will never want anything to hit your child. These two political parties have taken Ghana and electors for granted, simply because they are not meant to bring development to this country. They are looking out for themselves. Because if you have investment in a bank, Evans, you will never set it ablaze. Because you have access. You have an investment. You have something to protect. But let me tell you, let's be very honest to ourselves. Let's be very honest to Ghanaians and the world that the Convention People's Party that I'm representing, in fact, Evans, is sad. It's sad.
So what are you doing about it?
Yes, we condemn it.
And beyond that, in practical terms, looking at yourself, if you look yourself in the mirror, what is it that you see?
Well, even as I said, it's not a good reflection.
Okay.
Because an election that is meant to elect leaders to leaders is now meant to kill innocent people.
What do you think we should do as a country?
Well, what I think we should do as a country is to let the two political parties to go and rest. That is, look, Evans, let me tell you, that is the only alternative, because they have access. Look, these two political parties have access to the national resources, and they are using it. They are misusing the resources. Because, look, the Convention People's Party can afford to train vigilante groups.
You don't have
in South Africa or in Canada.
You don't have any vigilante groups.
We don't have any vigilante group. I'm telling you, we can afford to train them. So the fact is,
you can't afford.
We can afford to train because let me say this.
So if you found money,
so there's an intent. Let me come. But
what you're saying is
I'm saying we can afford. So there's an intent to train them in the sense that
you can't afford.
We can afford.
But if you can, you.
Let me come. Let me finish. Let me make the point. When I say we can afford to train them, I am telling you that the resources that we have, we will not use it in training vigilante groups.
So even when
you
have
understand,
the resources, you will use it there.
When we have the resources, I am telling you that we will never use it because it's not meant for betterment of this country. Look at what happens at Ayawasu Wagon. Look at what happens at Telensi. Let's look at what happens at Charpene. In fact, look at what happens in Offensu. Are we in a battlefield?
We're not.
So why are we doing this to ourselves? In every election, we promise the country, we promise the Ghanaians that when you vote me into power, this is what I'm going to do. We never promise them we are going to shoot them.
But when they come,
when we come, we turn the whole thing upside down. So that is what I'm saying. Evans, let me land here. Let me come. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The only way we can salvage this devilish act
is to bring the CPP.
Is to let these two political parties rest and bring the CPP.
So what are you saying to us on this conversation, Ernest?
Nana from Spinter says, Evans, you are fed up with the NPP and the NDC who wants peace. The NPP guy in the studio isn't helping the situation. And this one says, Evans, your guest in the studio started making sense but has now deviated, referring to George Opariado. This one says, Evans, this has been long in coming. Sadly, the situation will worsen unless civil society groups, opinion and religious leaders fearlessly confront the menace. This government can and must be forced to do better.
Well,
Conrad.
Robert says that the politicians are not the problem. The problem is the civil society organizations, opinion leaders, religious leaders, and media who are reluctant to take the politicians on. But I must add that Joy FM is doing well in keeping politicians accountable to the action.
This one also says, I now believe that the youth are worse than the old people. And Joseph from Bolga says, the NPP in power has the security agencies under control.
He says what? He believes that the young people are worse than the old people.
Yeah, the youth are worse than the old folks. And this one says, the NPP in power has the security agencies under their control. Why are they arming people outside the law? That's from Joseph from Bogatanga. And Joe Isel says, Evans, great idea, but maybe we should have had this program with ordinary people and not these politicians who have entrenched positions.
Don't worry, we'll have the ordinary people segment shortly on Ghana Connect as we begin this series of conversations. The ordinary people will be here to have this conversation. Please make note of him because he'll be part of the conversation when that happens. Yes, Ernest, thank you very much. We'll come back with more on that. Gentlemen, I want to take you to a country where politicians do mature politics, where they think about the people first before themselves. And that is Canada. We all know Canada has a history of doing real mature politics. And let's speak to a Ghanaian researcher with the Political Science Department, University of Windsor, Ontario, Canada, and a graduate teaching assistant at the University Political Science Department there. Hello, Emmanuel.
Hi, Ivan. How are you?
I'm great. I'm sure you've been following the conversation back home.
Yes, I have been following everything.
Quickly share your thoughts with me, coming from a political system that is really mature.
Well, it's quite sad that even from the panelists who are there, they keep with each other and trying to avoid the problem that we have. I think that our main challenge as a people or as a nation is that our institutions are very, very weak. The main difference between our system and the Canadian system, that even though it's a parliamentary system here, is that they have strong institutions. And so when a politician or whoever is in political power goes wrong, there's that level of strong checks and balance to be able to check all these things. And so our main problem is that we have a constitution which gives excessive powers to the executive president, okay? And so all these political parties, be it NPP, NDC, will do anything to make sure that they grab that power. You see, that's what is happening. And we all know that the fact is clear that both NPP and NDC have benefited from these political vigilante groups. It's like when you are in opposition, you use them, you come into power, and then the opposition now also, and what do you call it, blaming you for using them against them and so on and so forth. So our challenge is that we need to strengthen our institutions. We just need to strengthen our institutions. We need to go and 1992 constitution. I know there was a constitutional commission that was set up by the late Professor Atalios. Some of the recommendations, about 97 of them, if we can look at the ones on security and implement them, it will be of good to the nation.
And that is a very important point. The Constitutional Review Commission's report and the white paper have become gathering dust on the shelves. This government has not taken up, even the NDC government that set up themselves, they didn't do much about it until they left power. Emmanuel, next week, Friday, we're having a citizens' conversation. We're taking the politicians out so we can have a citizens' conversation on this matter. And I'm already asking you to join us then with your views. We'll get back in touch with you on that. But let me come back in the studio and wrap up with my young political leaders who one day become the leaders of the NDC, the NPP, and the CPP. Very finally, Mr. Opare-Hammond. So tell me, what is your commitment?
Did you call me Opare-Hammond?
Sorry.
It's late. I'm Opare-Hammond.
What is your commitment to change the face of politics in Ghana, to make it really about the people, lives, improvement of people's lives, etc.? Very short in 30 seconds. What is your commitment? Something I can hold you to really.
I, as a person, I'm committed to peace.
Yes.
So whatever I can do with the youth wing of the NDC to see to it that we avoid.
What is the whatever? I want to be.
Whatever I can do.
What is it that you commit to do tonight to change the face?
You don't expect me to sit here to make commitments. I belong to a political. I'm coming. I belong to a political. I said me as a person.
Yeah, so you can see
I am committed to see to it that
what is that you
peace.
commit to?
Whatever I have to do to make sure there is peace. It's a process. So I cannot say I'll do A and leave B. Whatever it takes, that same process that will give us peace. I'm committed to it. I belong to a political party, a bigger organization. Okay. And I can also say that the NDC as a political party is committed to peace. But Evans, you cannot have peace without justice. Thank you.
Kamal, what's your commitment?
I think when you spoke to the gentleman from Canada, he spoke about institutions working.
Yes.
We certainly would have to let our institutions work.
Okay.
In his case, my proposal is simple. National Commission for Civic Education must be much more engaging. Engage the youth of various political parties. In fact, it should be in continuity. It should be something that should be periodic. At the end of the day, if my good self and then Opare-Ado, and of course my brother Nabila sitting here, are good friends, little do we have people who are our supporters know that we are even good friends. And therefore, when mayhem is supposed to be visited, when, violence is supposed to be orchestrated, they do not even care. Let us try to engage ourselves.
So
we as political parties, my commitment is simple. We are committed to dialogue. We are committed to listening, like the President of the Republic of Ghana has listened to the civil society organizations, the media, and want to take steps to ensure that we nip this in the bud. Okay. So we are committed, and the MPP will stand committed to continue to be civil and continue to love the people of Ghana and continue to dialogue so we can have peace in this country.
Nabila, what is your commitment? Do it in 30 seconds for me.
Well, Evans, I started my conversation by saying that the NDC and the MPP are all the same. In fact, no, you have to agree with me because
no. Well, your commitment is the question.
Yeah, I know.
What is your commitment? I don't have time.
Yes, you have to agree with me because you have vigilante groups. You can't tell me that the NDC doesn't have vigilante groups. Let me set this record straight before.
When you're doing politics differently, when you're asked the question,
I know. If I say the two political parties, I don't believe them when it comes to vigilantes. He can't tell me that he disagree because
I'm grateful that you joined us, Nabila. I'm grateful that you joined us, Kamal. Grateful that Opariamo. That is it for Ghana. Next week, Opariado. Opariado, the CPP and MPP are going to Soho Bar to enjoy. Please, you see, so you see when they come on air and they're doing that, they see, look at what they're hugging themselves, and yet they talk as if there's war. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Next week, a citizens conversation on this. If you want to connect with us, please send us your WhatsApp on any of our platforms, and we can get you on the conversation. My name is Evans Mens. Enjoy the rest of your evening.